Hello, Aries rising, and welcome to your September astrology and tarot horoscope. If you're new here, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Lisa Merrifield. I'm with Trails Edge Astrology, and on this channel, I try and give grounded, practical advice so you can make the best decisions for your life. Um, if you have not listened to my September overview, you might hop back and do that before you listen to this. Here, I'm going to talk about two specific transits, but in that September overview, which is only 13 minutes, so it won't take a lot of your time, um, I go over six transits that I think are really significant for this time period, and and I also made a journal page with the date and the transit and some places for you to write down how it might show up for you. I also encourage you to write down how it does show up for you. Some things come more strongly or less strongly than others, but it's just it's interesting and telling and useful to really reflect on how things do show up for you, what kinds of things happen, how you feel. Um, Astrology is cyclical, so the same kinds of patterns come around over and over again, and it's just useful to have some kind of documentation of what that showed up and what kinds of things you're being invited to work on. So there's my sales pitch for that. I will link the September video to this video, and I will also put the journal page in the show notes below if you want to go grab it. All right. Um, so let's talk about the two transits that I think have the longest ranging impact for the month of September and beyond. And if anything I say here resonates with you, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give me a like on this video. If you want to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. Um, Comments, I always love the comments. Um, it helps me know you're out there, helps me know this is interesting, and it helps the algorithm know that this content is worthwhile. So I always appreciate that. All right, the first transit I want to talk about is Pluto moving back into Capricorn. That happened on September 1st. So Pluto was in Capricorn solidly between 2009 and 2023. And since beginning of 2023, it's been going back and forth between Pluto and Aquarius, and it's going to move into Aquarius um, after November 20th this year for good. But um, solidly between 2009 and 2023, there was something about your career or your public persona that was up for some consideration. Pluto often puts pressure on us until we kind of give up the things we think we can't give up and um, take on the things that are really the longings of our heart, the things that we really actually want to do. Um, so So during that time, probably there was something about your career or your public life that was was up for transformation or revision, or there was some power struggle there, something that made you rethink how you show up in that space. Um, if you have planets in any of the cardinal signs, in Capricorn, in Aries, in Cancer, or in Libra, it probably hit you more profoundly than people who don't have anything in those placements. So, so yeah, you might just look back and kind of think about that time period and how your career has really transformed between 2008, 2009, and now. And and the reason I'm bringing it up is that between September 1st and November 19th, we have our um, last, this is our last period of Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto has been in Aquarius for the bulk of this year. And so we have this last little chunk of time with Pluto in Capricorn. And and that energy is culminating energy. Whatever you were meant to learn, whatever lessons you were meant to integrate, like this is the time to wrap that up. If there's a little bit of work you still need to do, if there's a power dynamic that needs to shift, like this is a good time to take care of that. If you're in the process of changing careers, um, this is a good time to kind of finalize that to the extent that you can. Of course, the outside world happens and all of that. But there's likely something that you're finishing up, or you'll be invited to finish up during this time related to that house of career. Because then after November 19th, Pluto moves into Aquarius, where it will be for the next almost 20 years. And in Aquarius, that focus on transformation and renewal is going to happen in your house of, like, your groups, your communities, maybe your humanitarian or civic ventures. That's what's going to be up for reform for the next 20 years. So Pluto stays in signs for a long time. This is the last time we will see Pluto in Capricorn. So yeah, see what comes up, invite it in. Sometimes it can be tests. Pluto sometimes gives us tests. Pluto will give us something, a situation or a version of a situation that we've seen before, um, to show us how much stronger we are, how we can approach something in a way that is more authentic and is more true to our own nature. So any of that could come up. And if you don't have any placements in Capricorn, maybe you'll just watch it in the outside world. You can see those ripples across society. So that's the first transit that I think is really significant for us and of note, particularly for you as an Aries rising with that energy in your house of career. The second transit I want to talk about is the eclipse on September 17th. So this eclipse is in Pisces and Virgo, which puts it in your 6th and 12th house. And eclipses are significant. We have eclipses twice a year. And they're always in the same signs. They're always around what are called the nodes of fate. This is an out of sign eclipse, so it's moving into Pisces and Virgo space. So it's a little different than probably the eclipses we felt in the spring, those April eclipses, March and April eclipses. But there is some energy around exploring health, both mental and physical, service, spiritual growth, connection to the cosmic consciousness. And eclipses tend to be harbingers of change, particularly if you've got something around the latter degrees of Pisces or Virgo. This energy could really show up for you in a loud way. In general, eclipses bring change, but it's not always change we can control. It's basically a karmic correction. It's the energy moves. So eclipses tend to be times of high energy, and we've had a couple months of really high energy, so you may be feeling very constrained. But around the 17th, give yourself some grace, give everyone else some grace. If this shows up for you, if you have resonant energy, it will likely be that you will feel something on the inside, like something will shift in your body or in your heart or in your gut, that will invite you or ask you or demand that you show up differently in the outside world. So I would suspect it's going to be something that happens on the inside. Suddenly you wake up and you're able to do something you had been wanting to do, or you're like, I don't really like that after all. So any of that could show up for you. And so just watch for it and see what comes, see what happens. Give yourself grace, give everyone else grace. It's a lot of energy. All right, so let's move into reading some cards and see if that gives us a little bit more information about what this energy is going to look like for you in September. We're going to read from the Arcanus Animal Tarot, and then I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Love Your Inner Goddess deck. All right, I'm going to pause, shuffle, and then I'll be back with your reading. All right, Aries rising, I am back. All right, so whoops. I'm not back, sorry, dropped a card. All right, so for your opportunity this month, Aries, you get the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups all fours are about some kind of rest. And the Four of Cups is like it can be apathy and boredom. But this is your opportunity to this month. And so I think in this case, oftentimes the Four of Cups is you're just full. You've just had enough. You have you have your one cup. You don't need all the rest of these cups. You don't that's not helpful to you. You have what you need. You have enough in what you need, and it's okay not to keep striving and pushing towards having towards getting more. So I think the opportunity this month, and maybe this opportunity with Pluto in your house of career, is really that, like, I have enough. I've done what I need to do. I don't need to keep striving for more. Maybe you'll get, some kind of opportunity and you'll be like, oh, time was I would have jumped on that, but I don't need that right now. So I think there's going to be some opportunity for you to rest and to recognize that you have enough, that you're full, that you're complete, and that you don't need whatever the next thing that is being offered is, whatever is being offered to you. Like, you have enough, and it's okay to have enough. It's okay to be like, you know what, I just really don't want more of that. So that's your opportunity this month, the Four of Cups. Your challenge is the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is about legacy. It's about completion of some kind of material journey. So some kind of career, perhaps, or some kind of it can be like inheritance and money and those kinds of things. Something material. It can be family. Like you're the patriarch of or matriarch of a family. But it's the ending of the journey. So I think there's some challenge in moving on from the place you are um, to the place that you want to go. And maybe this is the opportunity of recognizing that you have enough, that you have a legacy, that you don't need to build anymore, in a direction that isn't really where you want to go. So, you've got something about resting, being still, but the challenge of, feeling like you need to do more, you need to build more. And you don't. You don't necessarily, unless your heart is really calling you to do it. But I suspect there's something in your public life that is, push it, like, I should just do this one more thing. And I want to invite you to stop, pause, and do. Is that really what you need to do? Because these cards seem to me to be showing that maybe it's not what you need to do. That maybe you have enough. Maybe you've done enough. Maybe it's time to move into the next chapter or move on to the next cycle when Pluto goes into Aquarius. What is the next thing? Like you've done enough of this public activity, this career building space, and it's time to move on. It's time to say, check, done, move on. All right, your to-do list this month is interesting. The Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, almost always the person is blindfolded, or in this case, the eagle is blindfolded. So the Two of Cups is the energy of like not seeing. And so the way I'm interpreting this, a lot of Plutonian work is about trust. Trust, I don't know if that came through, is about trust and about accepting that you're on a journey, you're on a path, you may not be able to see what's coming. And trusting that you take the next right step. That's what all of these cards are saying to me, is like, you may not be able to see the end goal. And that's okay. Take the next right step. Listen to the longings of your heart. Listen to what your gut is telling you to do. And then step into that space. Even if you don't know exactly where it's going or exactly what it will turn into, or if you can get to your goal, take the next right step and don't worry that you might not be able to see what's coming or where you're going or exactly how it's all going to work out. You're not supposed to right now. You're supposed to be accepting that you have what you need and you don't need more, that your legacy is secure, and that you can't necessarily see the entire path, but trust that you're going in the right direction. All right, and for your goddess card, you got the Black Diamond. And this is a card that that is here to tell you that you're on the right track. Let me actually grab the book and we'll read what it says. So it says, The black diamond gives you the power to face your fears. Your soul has been working with the black diamond, transforming your attitude towards fear, learning how to feel it without being overcome by it. So, something about like you have the power, you have built these skills, you have learned these things, you you have the strength. You can take the next step. You can sit in a little bit of uncertainty and then and go when the time is right. All right, Aries rising, I hope this is helpful. If it is, if you would give me a like, a subscribe, a comment, or a share, I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Bye.